Hey, my name's James Dickerson and welcome to my YouTube channel. Lenders are cutting rates again. Are we going to go back to a price war like we had in December and January of last year, or January of this year, December of last year? Is that what's going to happen at the moment? Because lenders have started cutting rates. We've got 3 lenders here that have cut their rates, and we're going to go through who they are so you can go and check them out. And let's talk about why this is happening and what might happen in the next few weeks or months, because I know a lot of you want to get that really good rate locked in and be certain of when the rates are going to be at their lowest. So we're going to cover that and more in this video. While you're here, if you haven't done already, do subscribe to the channel over there and hit the bell notification. We're on the way to 25,000 subscribers now. Very, very close to that. You can help me get there, and make sure you smash the like button or tickle the like button. Do something to the like button. Don't get annoyed by that. It's not going to kill you. All we want to do is ask for you to hit that button to help us with the YouTube algorithm. So, rates have been all over the place. So, interest rates obviously went up significantly, 14 times in a row, which is crazy, due to inflation running wild. Inflation is now better. It's still too high, but it's in a better position than it was. And lenders didn't lend so much in 2023. In fact, the market was down between 15 and 20% in 2023. That meant that at the end of last year, lenders started to have a bit of a price war. So in December, we saw big lenders starting to cut their rates. January, that happened again. Then what happened was a lot of the people that are sat on the sideline that wanted to buy a property, but they wanted rates to come down, they started to come back into the market. And the market did really well in January. Estate agents had really an influx of buyers into their leads, and people started to purchase properties. In fact, house prices went up a little bit as well. Then what happened was the lenders suddenly had so much business, they were a bit overwhelmed because they'd scaled back a little bit. They didn't need to be so competitive. And in fact, in February and March, interest rates started to go back up. The March inflation data was pretty good, and that's now dropped. So the inflation is lower. It's under 4% now, 3.4 I think we're at the moment. And that meant that lenders are now looking again at dropping rates to start the market moving. Now, there's a big reason that that interest rates and lenders want to be competitive at the moment, because the spring is one of the busiest times of year for house purchases. And so if you're a lender, this is where you make your year. So you want to make sure you're in the right position, so you're in front of all that business and making sure you're very competitive. Now, the swap rates dropped temporarily a little while ago. We talked about that last week. And that's where the bank borrow their money from. So they borrow from other bigger lenders, and the price that they could get money at dropped temporarily. And what we saw is a few lenders took advantage of that, secured some money, and some of them went on and passed better rates to us. Now, these rate cuts are more along the lines of the swap rates haven't moved a lot, but it's more along the lines of let's win this spring business. That's what they want to do, is to get that big lump of business in at this very important time of year. So who's dropping rates this week? Well, the big lenders that have dropped rates this week are Santander, which is a big lender, obviously. And they are dropping their rates on average by 0.21%, which is pretty good. That's what we want to see. Now, Santander is a big lender, and maybe you're on a Santander deal that's expiring soon, so you can start having a look at maybe transferring onto this better rate. That's what we want to see as much as we can. Next is HSBC, another huge bank, huge lender. So HSBC are weird. They just put a press release out. They haven't talked about how much they've cut off the rates. I don't track their rate, what it was every single week. I should maybe do that, but I don't. And so they just said that they've cut their rates, and their rates are cut on the loan to value is higher. So for example, if you have a 10% deposit, the rate has been cut. Here's the strange thing with HSBC. If you have a big deposit, like a 40% deposit, they've actually increased those rates, which I'm not sure why. They haven't said exclusively how much they're going to cut, but go and have a look at HSBC. Maybe it's a lender you're already with, and maybe you can transfer onto one of their new rates. But they have cut rates this week, so go and have a look at HSBC. And also another one that we see, I don't know if you, this is a reason to subscribe. Every week we do a video of the best interest rates. So we look at buy-to-let, we look at HMO, we look at buy-to-let in a personal name, in a limited company name. We look at buying a residential property or remortgaging a residential property. And over the last few weeks, Barclays have been competitive. They've been one of the cheapest lenders in a few categories. They've jumped again. So I don't know until we do next week's data, but I would expect that Barclays might be in that data again as one of the cheapest lenders. So do go and have a look at Barclays. And they're knocking off 0.25%, which is pretty damn good. So look, these rates are not as good as rates were 2 years ago, 3 years ago. We're not going to get back to 1% this year. That is just never, ever going to happen. I've said that I feel the best rate that you will be able to get, the mortgage rate that you pay, I think that if things go really well, if inflation continues to drop, I think that you'll see some lenders offer a rate of around 3.5%. That's dependent on the Bank of England dropping base rate at least twice. And that's also dependent on America dropping their rates, and it's dependent on inflation improving greatly. Now, there is a risk that inflation is going to start going up at the back end of this year, and that's something that we've got to be mindful of. All of these things make a big difference to us, so we're not out of the woods yet. Now, if I had a mortgage that was expiring in the next few weeks or months, I'd fix a rate today, and then as I'm waiting for that new deal to start, because you can fix the, let's just say you've got an HSBC deal and it ends in 4 months. You can fix the rate today and you'll stick on your old rate for 4 months until this new deal starts here. And if in that 4-month period, HSBC reduce the rates, you can swap onto that lower rate. But if they increase the rates, which could happen as well, if inflation goes high again, you've secured that lower rate. That's what the smart people are doing at the moment. Every day, tons of you are commenting that you've done that from watching these videos. So do let me know if you do that yourself. I think that is the smart thing to do. So 3 big lenders are dropping rates. What do you think is going to happen? I put a video out the other day and I said, I feel that some more lenders are going to get closer to that 4%. And within a day, the Mortgage Works dropped their rates to 3.76% on buy-to-let. So let me know, where do you feel rates will get in the short term? Do comment below, do smash the like button, share the video with someone that should be watching this. Go and check out all the other content on my channel, including this video right here.